A very good morning to all of you. Namaste. I'm Shruti Mishra and I'm Assistant Professor at Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. This is the Strategic Management lecture and today we will going to discuss about the strategy. So we'll start with the topic of the today is Introduction to Strategy. This is the class for the BBA 6th semester, BCom and BCom LLB 4th semester students. Now let's talk about that what exactly strategy means. Strategy is a tactical course of action which is designed to achieve the long-term objectives. So strategy is basically a tactical course of action. So it is basically designed to achieve the long-term objectives and long-term goals. So there's a lots of planning is involved in this strategy and everything should be made with the full proof planning, and it is an art and a science of planning and marshalling the resources for their most efficient and effective use in the changing environment. So the first of all, there are two things which are very much important. First one is planning, and the second one is efficient proper utilization and efficient utilization of resources. So, the strategy of the business enterprise consists of what the management decides about the future direction and scope of the subject of the business. It entails the managerial choices among the alternative action programs, competitive moves, different business approaches to achieve the enterprise objectives. So there are lots of achieving the most important goal, a most long-term goal of the organization. There are lots of different moves, lots of short-term plannings, lots of short-term objectives are involved to achieve those things. Now, let's talk about the definition of the strategy. As per the Alfred D. Chandler, strategy is the determination of the basic long-term goals and objective of the enterprise and the adoption of the course of the action and the allocation of the resources necessary to carrying out the goal. So there are certain things which are required to achieve the goal, right? So what strategy's definition says: determination of the basic long-term goal first, and the objective of an enterprise and the adoption of the course of action. What type of action you are going to take, so you need to take care of that. And also the allocation of the resources, which type of resources you are using, how much resource you have, how much resource you will require to achieve that goal. So these all things are necessary to achieve the certain goals, and these all comes under the strategy. Now, there are the certain features of the strategy. The first one is top management responsibility. So basically, it's a top management responsibility. The top management is required to take the corrective actions. The top management is required to make these strategies about their organizational achieving the organizational objectives. The second one is allocation of the large amount of resources. Large amount of resources means what type of resources will be required at what particular moment or a time, and which type of resource is necessary for achieving these goals. These type of certain decisions are need to be made by the top management. The third one is impact on the long term prosperity of the firm. Yes, the strategy, the if you have a foolproof, a well-planned strategy that will impact the long-term prosperity, or you can say the prosperity of the organization or a firm. It's a future-oriented, obviously, it is a future-oriented activity. You need to take care of certain actions which will be give you the result in the future only. Now the fifth one is multifunctional and multi business consequences. Yeah, it's a multidimensional activity. You have to deal with different things at the different dimensions. The next one, which says that the consideration of the factors in the external environment. You need to take care of the certain factors which are involving the external factors. Now, the next one is we'll discuss about the levels of the strategy. So, as you can think of a pyramid, and in a pyramid, there are three levels. At the very bottom level, there is a functional strategy, or you can say at the very basic level, there will be a functional strategy. The next one is business strategy, and the last one at the top of the pyramid will be the corporate strategy. So let's start with the top of the pyramid, that is a corporate level strategy. At this level, the strategic decisions related to the organization wide policies and are taken care of the top level management, that is BOD, board of directors, with a vision of the determining where the company wants to be. So the corporate level decisions are the some type of decisions which are actually need to take care by the top management. They need to think about the organization, that after 5 years or 10 years, after 10 years, where their organization will be, and what type of decisions they need to make for 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 their organization to be at after 5 years. Now the next point is, in the corporate level strategy only, it has two main aspects. The first one is formulation of strategy, the strategic planning, or you can say the strategic planning, and the next one is strategy implementation. So you have to formulate the strategy at once, and the next one is a strategy implementation. You have to implement the strategy whatever you have formulated previously. Next, in the corporate level strategy only, the nature of the strategy at this level tend to be value oriented, conceptual than the other level. Yeah, it is more to the theoretical and the uh, 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 conceptual or value oriented activity, because you need to take care of that what type of different things we can do to make our organization that is that leads the marketplace in the different dimensions. So for this you need to be very conceptual in the approach. There is also a greater risk, cost, and profit potential, as well as a greater need to the flexibility associated with this level. Major financial policies, decision involving acquisition, diversification, and structural redesigning belong to this level. Now, there are the certain type of decisions that need to be made by the top management. So these decisions are the acquisition. When you are acquiring some other organization or some other firm into your organization, or you are diversifying your own business, or you are structurally redesigning yourself. So in these are the certain decisions which need to be made by the top management. So it comes under the corporate level strategy. Now let's talk about the business level strategy, that is a point number 2, or the step 2 of the pyramid. So the business level strategy is the more likely related to the unit within the whole. It is concerned with the competition in the market. The concerns are about the product or the services should be developed and offered to which the market is order to meet the customer needs and the organizational objective. So it is somewhat more particular in sense, it is more particular towards what type of product they are selling, what type of product they are offering to the customers, and they are meeting the demands of the customers or not. These types of certain decisions are made in this particular business level strategy. Now, at this level, the multifunctional strategies developed at the corporate level are formulated and implemented for the specific product market in which the business operates. So they need to make these certain strategic decisions, like they need to formulate and implement the certain strategies for the product, what type of advertising policies they need to make, what type of marketing approach they need to perform. So these are the certain things that is involved in this business level strategy. So the decisions at this level, like the policies involving the new product development, marketing marketing mix, research and development, personal, etc. So there are certain decisions we can say that are the part of this strategy. These are the product development, what type of product we need to develop for our customers, and the product which we are trying to develop is meeting the demands of the consumers or not. And the next one is marketing mix, other one is R&D, research and development, and the personal. Now let's talk about the functional and the operational level strategy. As I've discussed earlier, that this is the in the pyramid. This is the basic strategy which need to take care of by the organization. So the functional level strategy involves the decision making with respect to the specific functional areas. So there are certain functional areas, as we know. These functional areas are production, marketing, personnel, finance. So the management or the organization need to take care of these certain areas, that they are functioning well. If they are not functioning well, then what type of resources they are required, and what type of a strategy will be required for the smooth functioning of these certain departments. While corporate and the business level strategies are the concerned with the doing the right things, functional level strategy stress on doing things right. So basically the functional level strategy based on what how to do certain things which can be in the right format. Next is operating the level strategy. Operating level strategy is concerned with the strategic approach for managing the frontline operating units and handling the day-to-day task. So basically it is more oriented to the day-to-day task. It is more oriented to the you can say advertising, campaigning, purchasing the materials, inventory control, and maintenance, etc. So now let's talk about something about the strategic management. Strategic management is a set of the management decisions and the actions that determines the long-term performance of the cooperation. So strategic management is basically is basically the set of the management decisions. When you have a bundle of the bundle of the management decisions, and you have certain actions in your bag, and you implement those things, implement those things for the organization, or for the organization betterment, and for achieving certain objectives, that will call strategic management. So I think this is basically I already I wanted to talk about the introduction to strategy, and I think this is all for today. So I think I should end up my session over here only. So this session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. If you have any query related to this session, please do let me know in the by commenting on the comment section, uh, which will be which is appearing here under this video. And thank you so much, students. Have a great day. Thank you so much.